to the top of the agenda and the formalities at the top of the agenda. So item 1, are there any appeals against refusal of inspection of documents, please?
There are no appeals, Chair.
Thank you. Item 2, is there any exempt information, please?
And no exempt information on the agenda today.
Thank you. Item 3, are there any late items, please?
No late items.
Great, thank you. I'm going to turn to the committee and see if there's any declarations of interest. No, I don't see any. Apologies for absence, please.
Got apologies from Councillors Arif, Galton and Pryor.
Thank you. I turn to the minutes of the last meeting, which was held on the 18th of October. Is everybody happy with those, please? Great, thank you. And I'll then turn to the items on the agenda. And the first one is item 7, which is approval of the pay policy statement. And Claire, you're going to speak to this item, please.
Morning, everyone. I'm Claire Matson, Head of HR for Employee Relations and Recruitment. So today we've got the paper. The report presents the annual pay policy statement for 24-25 in line with our statutory obligations. So today we ask that the General Purpose Committee will recommend the approval of the pay policy to full council on the 21st of February. Key highlights of the report, there's a recommendation that the Leeds, the Living Wage Foundation rate that was announced in October 23 of £12, subject to approval, will become our lowest paid rate on the pay structure from the 1st of April 24. The Council's committed to continuing to match the Living Wage Foundation rate, subject to affordability in future years. The pay multiples are reported in the report each year. The highest pay multiple, the pay multiple for the highest earner in the organisation, which is obviously the chief executive, with our median pay is a ratio of 8.55 to 1. In addition to these statutory obligations, we also report the pay multiple between the highest earner and the lowest earners in the organisation. So using the potential increase to £12, the pay multiple becomes 6.88 to 1. It's just important to note that the chief executive does regularly take voluntary reductions in salary once the pay awards are actually communicated. The report's also covering the gender pay gap. So this is the early brief before we actually publish the gender pay gap information. There is a slight decrease on our gender pay gap from previous years, and we can report that we are now seeing higher multiples of women in the top quartile. Also detailed in the report, we cover the equality data in terms of recording of protected characteristics, and we have seen an increase in the number of people that are coming forward and disclosing the protected characteristics, which is now 85%. So that's the brief summary of the report. So open to any questions if you have any.
Thank you, Claire. Are there any questions from the committee, please? Councillor Stevenson, please.
Yeah, thank you. On page 18, there's reference to the local government membership of the local government pension scheme. I understand the council had asked West Yorkshire Pension Fund if it could change terms and conditions to potentially reduce percentage employer contributions. Is there an update or an outcome on that request?
I'd have to come back to you on that one, councillor. So I'll look into it and I'll report back through the chair.
Is there an exec member that could comment, given budget coming up, of an outcome?
Councillor Cooper, please.
Yeah, I'd have to get the detail back to you, chair, through the chair. I'd ensure you get that detail for all members of the committee.
Thank you. Are there any more questions from the committee? Councillor Carter, please.
Yeah, it's just about the gender pay gap, really. There's still a gender pay gap, and how is it going to be equated if we have pay gap between people with protected characteristics or BAME? How is that all going to be equated?
Claire, please.
Thank you. So at the minute, we obviously reported the gender pay gap, which is the requirement, in terms of legislation. We do look in the background at other protected characteristics as well, to try and monitor that. And that is a piece of work that we are looking to kind of take up even more. I suppose what we would say is obviously everybody through the pay awards that are paid and the roles that are job evaluated, people aren't receiving a different level of pay based on any of the protected characteristics. Everybody is obviously receiving the correct level based on job evaluation. But obviously what we're looking to do is to try and support and encourage more people from different protected characteristics to access roles. And that's quite a bit of work that we've done around recruitment and retention work that we do to try and increase the cohort of, to make sure that the workforce is representative.
Thank you. Are there any more questions or comments from the committee, please? I don't see any, so I'm going to turn to the recommendations. And is everybody happy with the recommendations? Take it, everybody is. That's great. Thank you. So we'll move on to item 8, please, Susie. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you, Chair. Susie Benton, Head of Electoral Services. So our report outlines the representations that we received during the consultation period for the polling district review, and also the recommendations from Electoral Working Group in relation to those representations. In total, we received 66 representations, 19 were either duplicated or supporting the consultation document, so therefore didn't require a recommendation from Electoral Working Group. 43 representations have cross-party agreement, and a single recommendation from Electoral Working Group has been made, which you can see in Appendix C to the report. 4 representations didn't have cross-party support, so we agreed, Chair, that we would go through the ones that didn't have cross-party support to try and reach a decision on those today. If it's okay to go through those.
Yes, please, Susie.
Okay. Representation 31, which is on page 7 of Appendix C, submitted by Councillor Firth and the East Leeds Conservatives, recommending a boundary amendment between polling districts GHG and GHK. Labour members at Electoral Working Group didn't agree with the amendment. Conservative members did agree with the amendment. So we're looking for a decision on that one.
Councillor Cooper, please.
Yeah, I don't think it wasn't split between party lines at the electoral working group. Actually, I think it was the proposer Sam Firth. That's all, who had a different view to everybody else at the group. David, you'll back me up on that. So yeah, it was that was the case, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Cooper. So what I'm going to suggest is we take these 4 as I think the proposal is we take these 4 as votes here, and then we vote on the rest that everybody agreed on the elections working group. If I can see nodding heads around the room, so let's take it forward that way. So are we ready to vote on this proposal? So everybody is. So all those in favour, please. And all those against. So 31 doesn't move forward. Thank you, Susie.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, the next one is representation 47, page 11 of Appendix C, again submitted by Councillor Firth and the East Leeds Conservative Group, suggesting polling district TNJ vote at Temple Newsam Golf Club instead of Halton Library. There wasn't agreement at Electoral Working Group on this.
Thank you. Does anybody want to speak on this one, or should we just move to a vote? We'll just move to a vote. So all those in favour of this one, it's number 47. And all those against, please. Thank you. So that one has fallen. 48, please, Susie.
Thank you. Yeah, this is page 12 of Appendix C, number 48, again submitted by Councillor Firth, suggesting polling district TND be split to create 2 separate polling districts for the north and south of the existing polling district boundary. Again, agreement not reached at EWG.
Thank you. Does anybody wish to speak? Nope, we'll move to a vote. So all those in favour, please. And all those against. Thank you. That one falls. So on to 49, please, Susie.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, 49, again, submitted by Councillor Firth, suggesting amendments to the boundaries of polling districts TND and TNE, and no agreement reached at EWG.
Thank you. Does anybody wish to speak on this one, number 49? Feel like a bingo caller here. No. No one does. So we'll move to a vote on number 49. All in favour and all against, please. So that one has fallen. Thank you, Susie. So shall we move on to the ones that agreement was reached at Electoral Working Group, please?
Yes, so they are covered in the report. Sorry, let me just go back and check. 43 of the representations, they all state in Appendix C that they reached cross-party agreement at electoral working group. So we're just looking for confirmation that members are happy to approve those.
Thank you. Before I move on, does anybody wish to speak on these proposals? Can't see anybody. So I take it as we reach cross-party agreement at electoral working group, everybody's happy with those. That's great. Thank you.
Thanks, Chair. So once all the final recommendations have been agreed, which we've now got, we will make the necessary changes within electoral services to the polling district boundaries and polling station locations ahead of publishing a revised register on the 1st of March. Details of the representations and decisions taken will be published on leeds.gov.uk, and that will mark the end of the review process.
Thank you, Susie, and thank you for all your staff that have worked on it. I know it's a huge amount of work to do. With that, that was the last item of the meeting. So we've got another meeting in April, and with that, I'll close the meeting. Thank you, everybody.